All right there, Latin 3, here we are, Out of Danger, chapter 91. Once he had accomplished things in this way, Ulysses, fearing that Polyphemus would realize his fraud or his trick, he sprinted with his allies as quickly as possible down to the shore. And when they had come there, they were greeted with the greatest happiness, or with great happiness, by the rest of the men who had been left there as a guard of the ship. By those, on the ship. For these guys, with anxious minds, had already been awaiting their return for 3 days in a row. They suspected, indeed, because that is what had happened, the guys at the ship, suspected that they, the ones in the caves, had fallen into some terrible danger, or rather, some terrible danger had fallen into them. They themselves were preparing to head out in order to help. So it's like, oh, I'm glad you're here. We were just getting ready to come get you. Then Ulysses, thinking that it was not safe enough to stay in that place, decided to head out as quickly as possible. He therefore ordered that everyone get aboard the ship, and once anchor was raised and they had sailed a little from the shore, once anchor was raised a little bit, they set sail from the shore. Then in a loud voice he shouted out, "You, Polyphemus, who ignored the rules of hospitality, you paid the just and right cost for your inhumanity." So solo sovera can mean a lot of things. When you're sailing, it means to set sail. When it means, very often though, it's to loosen the purse strings. In other words, to pay. That's why solvisti is you paid. Once he had heard this voice, Polyphemus, moved violently by anger, took himself to the ocean. And when he realized that the ship was a little farther away, or had moved a little farther away from the shore, he grabbed up a huge rock in his hand and he hurled it into that part from which he thought the voice had come. Moreover, the Greeks, even though they were not indeed that far, or they were not that far from being submerged, they held their course, accepting no damage. So Polyphemus hurled a rock and it got them really, really wet. But that was it. So probably they were cursing Ulysses, dude, like, could you just have shut up? Did you really have to say that? That kind of thing. So that takes us to 92. And in 92, it can be a little confusing because there's this wonderful little quote about 2 lines in for you guys. And same thing in 93. These are both directly taken from the Aeneid, because I think Ritchie's had a real thing for the Aeneid. So he's borrowing from that. So if you get to a sentence where you're like, I have no idea how that translates, that's okay. It's Roman poetry and it's lifted directly from that. I'll take you through it. All right, I'm going to hit the button.